Hi, Runner Story family. This is Allison Gilliard with Runner Story, where every story needs to be heard. And you guys are going to hear 2 run stories in this episode, and that is because we sit down with husband and wife, Janie and Gerald Ross. Now, Janie started running prior to Gerald, and she has crossed the finish line to 51 marathons. Absolutely phenomenal. And because of that, that inspired, or as you can say for many of us, captured Gerald into running, and he's been running ever since. And so incredible. He's a Wagner's runner. He also works part-time at Wagner's, and that is how we got connected, because this husband and wife duo are in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So it was super fun to be able to sit down once again in Wagner's run store and be able to hear this dynamic duo of a running couple. Absolutely phenomenal. And what's really cool about them is the 2 different types of runners they are. Whereas one wants to match and the other doesn't care. I'll let you guess who that is, because you might be surprised. So much fun getting to meet Janie and Gerald and just their heart that they have for the running community. Absolutely phenomenal. So you guys are going to love them. So thank you, Wagner's Run Walk, for introducing us. Our friend Tammy's absolutely incredible and making sure that we get to share people's stories up there. And also to Janie and Gerald for sitting down, making time with us after a 5K up there. It was so much fun, and you guys were very, very gracious. So thank you so much. And speaking of being gracious, I have to give a shout out to Eastern Shore Chiropractic and Sports Clinic, serving the Fairhope area, and Cairo South Spine and Sport, serving the Mobile area. Guys, as runners, we are prone to injuries, and we shouldn't let running, walking injuries keep us from the finish line. Obviously, Janie didn't. She got 51 marathons. But Eastern Shore Chiropractic and Sports Clinic and Cairo South Spine and Sport, who serves the Mobile area, they treat soft tissue injuries like plantar fasciitis, the calf, the ankle, the hips, all the things that runners experience that can benefit from the fascia distortion model and ART, even dry needling, scraping, cupping. And obviously, don't forget about the moms out there who run and are expecting. Dr. Stephanie is phenomenal with the Webster technique. You guys will absolutely love her. We love, 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 love the mamas at Eastern Shore Chiropractic and Sports Clinic, as does Cairo South Spine and Sport. You guys are going to love that. So I know it's a local clinic, but they have to really set the bar in all that they do. And I am so appreciate not only what they do for me personally, but also professionally. So thank you to Eastern Shore Chiropractic and Sports Clinic and Cairo South Spine and Sport. If you guys are not a patient there, reach out to them, ask how you become a patient. But if you are a patient, make sure you go in and say, hey man, thanks for supporting this podcast for Run Your Story. All right, guys, lace up those running shoes, get ready, get set, and go run with my friends, Janie and Gerald Ross. Thanks for being here. I'm so excited because there's a huge connection here with Gerald that I just found out you work here part-time at Wagner's.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
Oh, for a runner, it's a dream come true.
And as we're back here in the shoes with all the shoe candy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. And then Janie, you are best friends with Tammy.
Yes.
So it's double the fun here.
It is. It is. Yes.
I love that. Thank you, guys. And congratulations. We just finished the Beats to Bark 5K, or Bark to the Beats, right?
Bark to the beats.
Right.
And you placed.
Yeah.
Bradski.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a half of a compliment. When you're the old guy, you finish first of all the old farts. Like safety, you know, I mean, come on, over 50. Yeah. But anyway.
You looked great. I got to see you there for a moment. You looked great. I was like, look at him. He is like zoning and everything.
Yeah.
Great job. So I'm so excited because I also got to meet you at Tuscaloosa Half briefly, like before you went and did your thing there. So I have no idea what your run stories are. So who wants to go first?
Well, she's the actual runner.
Okay.
We've been married 15 years. I was never a runner prior to that. I've always prided myself in being in shape.
Okay.
Because I played football and baseball in high school. And she says, you need to run this half marathon. And okay, how far is that? 13.1 miles. But she goes, well, you need to train for it and need to learn how to hydrate, nutrition and stuff. I'm just so macho that I'm thinking, it's only 13.1 miles. So she signed me up for Frostbite in Starkville, Mississippi.
Okay.
The longest I had run prior to that was 5 miles at one time. So we go over there, we get on buses at Tibiha General Hospital. They drive you out 13.1 miles to FEBA, Mississippi.
Drop you off.
All the women go to one side of the road. The men go to the other side of the road.
To use the bathroom.
Because there's no ports.
Okay. I was like, wow, what kind of race is that?
And I'm going like, what is, are these people out here in the
Barbarians.
bushes?
He
What
said-
is this deal with runners?
He said, I see a man over there pooping. You said, well, don't look.
Yeah.
Spoken like a true
So I'm okay. My wife's a runner. This is a strange community of people. And so we get back, we run. I finished the race, and we were actually working the coffee bar at our church. The race was on a Saturday.
Okay.
So Sunday morning, I could not walk for the next week. I finished it, but I couldn't walk. But then she says, well, you're a natural. You just need to train. So she's the actual runner. I just married her, and I just go along by default.
Did you not, when you guys were dating, run with her? Know that she was a runner?
He ran some,
Okay.
5Ks and
Yeah,
things like
just-
that.
Yeah, but never thought about anything more than a 5K or
I
10K.
see.
And didn't really think about competing. It was just like, hey, I want to be healthy. I want to keep myself in shape. But didn't think about, hey, there's actually more to this, and you can go longer distances. Never even considered running a marathon.
Wow.
And at that point, when we got married, she had already completed about 32 marathons on the way to her goal to run a marathon in all 50 states. Yeah.
Such fun. Such fun. Such fun. So his first marathon was Brookings, South Dakota, because I needed South Dakota. And it was right after the tornado here, so he had only run 120-miler, but he thought that was adequate, being who he is.
And I'm cussing her flying into the airport
Because it's
because it's Brookings. It's
Snowing
snowing. And I'm
sideways.
looking out the window on the plane, and the snow's going sideways. I'm from the South. I hate snow and cold weather. And I'm going, what have you got me into again?
I didn't pack for that. He was
Exactly.
kept threatening to die. I'm going to die out here. So he had heard all of this hype about getting to Boston. Well, he lines up in about 34 degrees in shorts and a singlet,
Makes sense.
and he qualifies for Boston on his first marathon. To the point that he says, oh, that's no big deal.
You said about Boston?
No, about
I
qualifying.
thought really my qualifying time.
Wow.
So fast forward to the Huntsville Marathon, which I'd already done. And I say, it's a great race. It's a good qualifier. You can qualify for another Boston. Well, being who he is, he sets a PR at the 5K, 10K, and the half. So I'm at the 20-mile mark waiting for him when he walks up and holds out his hand and says, do not speak to me.
True story.
He had hit the wall and was walking. So there's nothing to this. Became humility. I have been spanked. So, but yes, I've done a marathon in all 50 states,
That's incredible.
plus DC. So it was a lot of fun. And he's done 18 maybe.
Wow. So how did you get into this?
I've always been active, and I have about 75 degrees of scoliosis. I have a double coat.
Wow.
So I always knew I needed to stay active, and just became, can I do this? So I ran 5Ks, 10Ks, and I loved 8 miles, and I loved 10 miles, and then I ran my halves, and someone said, why don't you do a whole with me? So my first was DC in 1990.
Wow.
There were no books on hydration or what not to eat or what to eat. It was very hot, and it started late in the day, so that was an unfun experience. So I went back about 2 years later, and I ran Huntsville, my hometown, in December, and it's fabulous, and I loved it. Cut my time by 1 hour and 15 minutes. So then somebody said, well, why don't you try to run one in every state? I said, just dumb enough to say, okay, let's go.
Well, it took us one person to suggest that.
Okay, that's fun. Let's see, I get to fly, run, and eat. What could be better?
Wow.
We're both highly susceptible to being challenged and doing stupid things without really thinking it through.
I love it because we've already talked about this a little bit before the podcast, but I gave you one of my stickers. And you're like, I already have a sticker on my car, not even knowing that this was the podcast.
Right.
So I love it. I was like, we have a sticker addiction, and
Yep,
that's what runners do. Like, sticker? Yeah.
absolutely.
Marathon? Sure. Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Go into South Dakota in the
in the
Out of winter?
Yeah.
Why not? And qualify for Boston?
Uh-huh.
Why not?
Yeah.
And qualify for Boston?
Uh-huh.
So have you ran Boston?
Ran Boston in 2012,
Wow.
qualified in 2013, but Janie's mother got sick, and so we didn't take the trip. And it was strange because I was riding around Tuscaloosa, and the year of the bombing, I was riding around Tuscaloosa. I was getting these calls from Massachusetts. It was like the Boston Globe. Were you at the finish line? Did you see what happened? I'm going, what are you talking about? I had no idea because we didn't make the trip.
Sure.
And then I ran again in 2015.
Wow.
So his first was the hottest Boston on record.
You like it hot.
There you go. His second was hypothermia weather, pouring rain and wind. So he's had two extremes. in
Yeah.
Boston.
Man. Oh. So what is your favorite marathon?
My favorite, I actually have two. One is Flying Pig.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Chicago's really up there, but probably Anchorage, Alaska was this.
Really? Why?
It was my 51st.
Oh.
It was my last one.
Okay.
And Gerald ran it with me and my friend Andrea. So it was just a great experience. It was beautiful.
Oh. And all the people there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So fun.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite marathon?
Well, obviously Boston.
Okay.
Just strictly because it's the closest I would ever get to being on a college field or being, I feel like a professional athlete. All the marathons we've ran, or most of them, it's great crowd support and the race directors are great and they make you feel really great. But there's just something special about Boston everywhere you went. And that year she's talking about 2012, there were kids with garden hoses and ice buckets out in their front yard on the sidewalk, and they would spray you down and they'd give you sponges with ice baths and stuff. So it was just really cool. It makes you feel very special.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that Boston would have to be my favorite.
Oh, yeah, it's so great. Oh. So you guys have crossed many finish lines. What are some lessons that you've learned from running?
Obviously, endurance. And it's mind over matter. Anything after 20 miles is just, you have to know that you can do it. But good training and hydration. And it's good to be focused on what you're doing. But if you look outside at people around you and just start cheering people on, then you stop thinking so much about, oh, I have 6 more miles and my back is killing me.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with running is the mental part, is preparation and training, which I'm very bad at. My wife is wonderful at it, and she puts in her training miles and keeps her chart and everything. So I need to do much better at that end of it. But the biggest thing is just mental. I run into people that are our age all the time. Go, oh, I just could never do that. Well, yeah, you say you can't, you never will.
Exactly.
Can't, never could, and never will. And so it's all about mental. And everybody says, well, how do you do? Well, it hurts. After you get past 20 miles, everything hurts. And yes, your whole body wants to quit. But you mentally tell yourself, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to cross the finish line no matter what. And then when you do, you get such exhilaration. And so it's that feeling of, I accomplished something that no one thought I could do, and possibly in my own mind that I didn't think I could do. But the biggest thing is preparation, and then the mental aspect of it. Do not let can't get into your head.
Oh, that's good.
Now that I say that, let me qualify that. The worst marathon I had ever ran, it was in 2014, I believe, because I was trying to qualify for Boston again, or maybe it was 2015, somewhere in that time frame. It was Looney's Midnight Marathon in Louisville, Tennessee.
Okay.
It was the last qualifying to cut off for the next Boston for that year in the country. Starts at midnight. Didn't think about that. Running at midnight.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was in August in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So again, I go out, and it's a loop. It's a 5.5 mile loop. Same thing. It's the only marathon I've never finished because I knew I wasn't going to qualify for Boston. And by 3 a.m., I was like, we got to go home. I got to go back to the hotel room. I didn't even take a shower that night. I just went and just collapsed on the bed. So again, preparation, and that was one. That's the only one that I've never finished. But again, it got into my head. And man, our minds are so powerful. Your body can do massive things, but your mind has to be in the right frame. So,
Will you ever go back to try to do it again?
Loonies?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I'm not a midnight runner. We go to bed 9:30 after I take the dogs out for the last little outing. And then up at 5:36 in the morning, I'm a routine person. And so that going at midnight was just not a smart thing.
And we've gotten up at 3 and 4 a lot of times to get to an early start line. And that's a little bit tiring, but just knowing when to eat what
Sure.
and staying up and then showing up at midnight, already tired from the day, thinking, oh, now I start running. When we got back to the hotel, I almost couldn't get him out of the car. He was that sore and stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And running at night messes with your head too.
Yeah.
You're like, you're seeing things, and you're like, I don't know if that's real or not.
Exactly.
And shadows and lights and everything.
Exactly.
So it's just not a. I'm with you. I
Yeah.
completely agree.
And running with a headlamp,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
just not
terrible.
something.
Yeah.
So,
So not a trail runner then.
No.
No.
Not a trail runner.
no.
He likes for his shoes to be clean and pretty.
That's fair. I did see you were in the Nova Blast today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the Asics Nova Blast 5. It's a great shoe. It's
That
light.
color is fantastic.
Color is awesome. I'm all about color, as you can see.
can see that.
Everything needs to match.
Absolutely.
Her, on the other hand, half the things
my
may not
goodness.
match. And, yeah, exactly. So we're totally different.
If it's comfortable and it works,
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Uh-huh. Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree.
His first pair of running shoes, he had to have them because they were yellow. He had major problems, but he had to have them because they were yellow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They didn't work for him.
Yeah.
They
No.
were lovely.
Yeah, when I first started, like I said, I was not a runner. She was. And she would go, hey, you need to go and get fitted. And they have this machine that you can walk on. And I got them. I'm going to buy the pretty pair of shoes, the ones that look fast, and they look cool, and they match my shorts and my cap. That's what I'm going to buy.
I'm dying. That's hilarious.
And so I was tearing Achilles. I was stretching this, had knee issues, calf issues, and then finally listened to her. And we went to Wagner when Wagner was down at Midtown Village.
Okay.
And actually got on the machine and got measured, and they looked and suggested a shoe. I'd never paid that much for a pair of running shoes in my entire life. But they make all the difference in the world. Yeah. And so that's why working here now is so great, because I actually have more shoes than she does.
Always has. Running and on.
So it's awesome. I think this feeds my addictions.
Yeah, that addiction started a long time ago. You talked about how you are very routine. So what does your pre-race routine look like?
Yeah. It just depends, depending on the distance.
Okay.
Like, for instance, with a 5K, like we did this morning, it was totally different. I'll get up, do my business, have a banana, make sure I hydrate, drink 2 or 3, 4 bottles of water, 2 cups of coffee, and then I'm ready to go. Now, if it's a half marathon or a longer distance or a marathon, then actually I'm starting a day or two before with my energy, with Endurolites, magnesium, taking those tablets. And then also the night before, my favorite, I love lasagna. And so I like having a nice big lasagna with a glass of Cabernet the night before. And then race day, getting up extra early, several hours before, oatmeal, bananas.
No. You do put those honey buns from Publix.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Every time.
That's right. You got
To make himself sound healthy.
He was like oatmeal, and you're like, hold on.
No.
homemade natural granola, organic. That's, no, you're right. That would be wonderful.
No, it wouldn't. It's too much fiber.
But the bananas, and she's right, I have an affection for cinnamon rolls. And so that gives that quick energy. And then if it is a longer, like a half marathon or a marathon, I will do a lot of stretching and running, just light jogging, just to loosen up the muscles before.
A lot of stretching.
Well, a lot comparatively to what I normally do.
He puts his shoes on. Just stretching.
You have to bend down.
Yeah, I was looking for you to say, I make sure that my full outfit matches my door.
No, I did that. Well, that is the night before.
Okay.
Well,
His clothes like that.
this morning.
Yeah.
This morning. I laid everything out last night, had it in my backpack, ready to go. I'm dressed. I go outside. I crank up the engine, and the garage door goes up, and I look inside, and she still is in her pajamas.
No, I was just...
Yes. You had nothing on below the waist.
Well, that's true. One pajamas.
And I'm going like, we're
Not quite ready to go.
Yeah.
He was hightailing
I
it.
had 3 minutes.
He was ready for his PR.
He was.
He was like, I gotta go win this
We
thing.
all got.
True. Fair.
So what does your routine look like?
My routine is baked potato the night before.
Okay.
I love salad, but I have to no salad. And I'm trying to add some chicken to it the night before for some protein and just hydration.
Okay. And then you're like, I just go with the flow.
Go with the flow. And then post race is some pasta and glass of Chardonnay and a cold swimming pool, preferably,
Oh, yes.
or something to ice down. So that would.
Yeah, I remember one of the runs, she had to do Virginia. So we drove from Tuscaloosa, Alabama to Richmond, Virginia,
Uh,
ran that marathon, and then we're driving back and she's on the iPad and she goes, hey, Kansas is next Saturday, Olathe, Kansas.
And I haven't done Kansas.
We haven't done Kansas, so I'm signing us up. So she signed us up. And I'm going like, well, wait a minute. That's less than 8 days and we're driving
drive.
all these 8 hours or however far it was in the car.
Both times.
And she goes, well, no, this is the perfect time to do it. You got your training miles in. You're already ready.
Well,
you sound like a very rational human being to me.
I am. And it was a high of 7 degrees that day.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
7.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, Olathe, Kansas was cold. I remember the Chiefs were playing in the stadium that day, and they were talking about how cold it was.
Record cold.
And when you went by to grab the water stations, they had to keep you from slipping because the water was frozen. You had to take your finger and crack the top of the ice. It was cold.
Get out of the page.
Oh, yeah.
It was,
It was really, really cold.
but it was like cryotherapy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're so focused on just survival that you're not thinking your legs really don't hurt because they're frozen.
You can feel them. Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite running item? You will not hit the pavement without this item.
Sunglasses. My eyes are very, very sensitive. I had LASIK surgery. I used to wear contacts. And so now with wind and dust or anything like that, like it was gusty this morning. And plus, after LASIK surgery, I'm very, very sensitive to sunlight. So I have to have my glasses every race that I go out there.
And they have to match.
I am shocked.
That goes without saying.
I will say though, you looked legit today. I didn't get to see you running, but we were coming back getting ready to go to the second wave, and there you were. And I was like, well, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite running item?
My watch.
You watch. Okay.
I'm not fast anymore, but I loved to keep up with my distance, my heart rate, those things. And so it's my watch.
Okay. All right. And you have a Garmin?
I have a Garmin. I love it.
Okay. Favorite running shoes?
Right now, I'm in topos.
Mm-hmm.
I like my topos. Trails and road shoes.
Oh, so you do trails?
Yeah. Matter of fact, one of the first races, I don't know if I was injured or what, but the race of
You were when you
the
still have
Black
pretty
Warrior.
shoes.
Yeah, the Black Warrior, some friends of ours. Where was that little town? Carbon Hill, somewhere in Alabama, which is in the
Black
middle
Warrior
of the
half marathon
jungle.
or something.
Yeah, it was
What's
just
an actual
it was
jungle? It was the woods.
okay, the woods. But there was mud and water, and I had my camera out there thinking I was going to take a pic. And then she comes down and just goes right through the mud, right through all that, just covered with mud all the way up to her knees. And I'm thinking, this is just not fun.
Wait, what's right? And then
Road, I want to stay on the road where you look good when you cross the finish line. Exactly. You don't want to mess your shoes up.
And then we all did the one out at Lake Lane.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But he would never run that one.
I worked. I was a volunteer for that race. I was cheering everyone on. Motivation.
True.
Well, good, and you have a good-looking cheerleader. It makes all the difference.
It
in the world,
does.
right?
It does. It does.
Yeah, I'm not a trail guy.
Not a trail guy. Do you run in anything besides the Asics, or is that like your shoe?
Yeah, no, I stick with one shoe. There's a lot of times folks will come in the store. Hey, I've been wearing this shoe, and I say, okay, what's wrong with you? I don't know. Is there something else? I'm going, if it's not broke, don't fix it. If you have a shoe that's comfortable, that works for you, that you're not having any injuries with, stick with it. When the Nova Blast 6 comes out, I'll just get another pair. I'll keep wearing those. I'm very loyal to something that works and feels good. I think that's important.
Sure.
Yeah. And other than looking good. Now, it obviously has to look good first.
So how many pair of Nova Blasts do you have in different colors?
I only have the one color because I like that blue. I don't like the other colors right
The
now.
blue is so good.
Well, can I tell you this? Last week when we were down at Government Plaza, one of the other employees here, we obviously had the Wagner's tune
Right.
out and everybody was coming in shopping. And there was a racer, another runner that came in with the Nova Blast in a bright yellow. And Jonathan goes,
still my
if you go tackle him, I'll take him off his feet. True story. And I'm thinking, where did he get those? I have to have them. But I haven't.
You know a guy.
Oh,
He ordered.
that's
Like,
true.
That's it.
That's true.
Because you guys supposed to ordered my shoes because I love the women's light blue. It's my color.
There you go.
And I was like, Tammy, can you guys special order this? She's like, let me see what we can do.
Yeah.
You know, Dan.
Yeah.
She'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Something happen.
Yeah, I could do that physically, but I have so many other pair of shoes. I think she's cut off my credit card. So I don't. I'll have to wait until I wear these out, and then you can order the yellow ones.
That's a good thought. There you go. Yeah, yeah. You're like, what holiday's coming up next? It's his birthday, right?
Actually, yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
there we go. Okay. That sounds like a great birthday gift.
it does.
There you go.
Give it to yourself. I love that for you.
And then also, do you have yellow sunglasses already?
Yes, he is.
Yeah, I'll have every
Red,
color of
all
sunglasses.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
I don't know. This is not sounding very good for me. Some of this so far.
It's like a confession.
It's on the pod now. So we're saying about
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
What do you like to fuel with for longer runs?
Yeah, I strictly go with goose.
Okay.
I've tried other. Now, I love it when you have a race that has bananas or oranges out on the course. I'll always fill up with just natural with fruits if I can. But if not, I want to have goose. It's just I've tried some of the chews and other ones, but it's just a little bit more work if I'm racing. Now, if I'm out just training or something, I like the chews, but mainly just keeping goose out there because you real quick, slurp it down, throw the wrapper in the trash. So,
Not me. Not
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I like the ones with rice sugar. What is that company called? They had the waffle.
Yeah, the stingers.
Stingers.
Yeah.
Stingers are so easy. I like all of their products.
Okay.
Because it's a rice-based sugar, and it doesn't bother my stomach. And to me, that goo is just like swallowing a big sweet slug.
And then you got to have water right after.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'll have
Yeah.
GI.
Yeah, yeah.
But I love when they have oranges, bananas, pretzels. But Tammy taught me peppermints.
Oh,
So I keep just some peppermints in my pocket. So a few peppermints is great to have along the way.
Okay. Keep them out light and dry.
Done. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite running memory? Like you talked about a favorite race, but do you have a favorite running memory?
Mine is Anchorage, Alaska, because there were three of us. Our friend Andrea was with us for my last. And for some reason, he had decided he was not going to run. So he didn't pick up his pocket. And then all of a sudden, he would say, I'm going to run. I'm going to do it. And I said, okay. And he said, Andrea, go with me. So they take off, and I'm off my feet for a little while. And when he starts to run the next morning, he's carrying a backpack, a full-size backpack. He said, I'm just going to run in this in case you have anything you want to discard. And I said, well, it's warm weather. I'm not going to have any. So he ran the whole way and took candid shots because it was my last. And we got to the finish line. He pulled out a vest he had made with a map of the United States that said finisher 50 states plus DC. It was wonderful. It was
That's precious.
and he carried it the whole 26.2 miles and wore a backpack just to be able to get it to me at the finish line. It was very special.
Absolutely.
And that same race is my favorite one as well, just a little bit different situation. As we're going along, and I'll run ahead of her and wait and take pictures and stuff, and it gets to that point where we both have to go potty. And so I go over.
Not together.
No, not together, but I go over to the porta potty like a civilized individual, and I'm doing my business there. And so I take a picture in the mirror, just, hey, this is a keepsake. And then I go outside, and she's squatted behind a bush. I'm going, you have porta potties right here. This is uncivilized. But that's a true story.
Smell better out there.
You're like, everybody else was doing it. It's fine.
Well, it's so it goes.
It's just, well, like I say, something about that running community. I don't
He
understand.
told some friends' children at a very special event that I had used the bathroom in the yard of every house in their neighborhood. Not true. I think there's a couple houses on this.
Yeah, just a couple. But yeah, like she and her running partner, Ileana, had to run all these. They would get, and this is where we're sort of different. I really, really enjoy running, but the training part of it, not so much. And so when it gets really, really hot in the summer, I'll do my long runs, and then my shorter runs, I hit and miss. But Janie and Ileana, they would get up at 2:30. If they had a 20-mile or 18-miler, they get up at 2:30 in the morning and go over to River Chase and Wellington, some very nice neighborhoods in Tuscaloosa, because they're lighted and they felt safe. And then they're going in the shrubs in people's yards.
So it's dark. What's the choice? There's no porta potty.
Yeah. So then they go out, they do their 20 miles, and then they get up at 8 o'clock and then shower and go into the office. And so, yeah, we were sitting at the table, we were talking about running, and this is a banker here in town, and we're talking, his kids are there, and I'm going, oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure my wife has done it in y'all shrubs. And the little kid's eyes just got big as saucers. Dad, is he serious?
We were like, well, just check the ring. Just check your...
Exactly. Oh, yeah.
Thankfully, there were not rings.
Yes. Your shrub is great. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, the Tuscaloosa Police Department's not going to hear this, are they? There might be some indecency, some exposure issues. I don't know.
I'm sure, though, you'll get a pass.
Okay.
No one called them, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
There's also no evidence now.
There isn't a ring.
Do you guys listen to music when you run?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
No. I like to watch the scenery and nature, and I do a lot of praying. It's especially on training runs, it's just a meditative time for me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very spiritual, because it's one of those times I can get alone in my headspace, and all of the stuff, if I have any angst to it in a relationship or thinking through some things, when you're out on the run, there's just something about being able to clear your mind, and you get that clear vision of, okay, this is what's important. All the other stuff I'm worried about is not nearly as important. Let's just focus on what's most important. So I just like to clear my mind rather than have any other distractions.
That's good. Yeah, it's very good. Same. Yeah. Let's talk about recovery. Do you guys have a favorite recovery tool?
Oh, yeah.
Foam roller
Okay.
and a massage.
Oh, yes, girl.
Good masseuse and a foam roller.
Yeah. Same. And then icing, rolling the foam roller. We have, I don't know what you call
Theragun.
what is it?
Theragun.
Theragun. Yeah. Those are good to work out some of the soft tissue issues and tightness. And then icing. She was icing. She had a little thing with her right knee last week at half marathon, and icing all the rest of the week. And I don't think it bothered you today at all.
No.
So.
Sounds great. Sounds like you have a really good post-recovery. This is what we do. Okay.
Yep.
Cross training. Do you guys do anything?
Oh, yeah.
We do. We work out, lift weights, and stretch at the gym, and then we do a lot of walking with our dogs. That would mean cross train. And we cycle.
Okay.
Not regularly right now, but we do. We love cycling.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
So you guys being a 51 marathoner, working here at Wagner's, being as active in the community as you are, when somebody comes in and they're like, I want to get started running, but I don't know how. Like, what is some advice you would give them?
Start off walking. And then jog a little bit and walk a little bit and progress from there. But the key is make sure you're in good shoes. That's the key to everything.
Not pretty shoes.
Well, if they're pretty and they're good, that's fine. But see, mine are black. They're ugly and they're great. So,
but they go with everything.
Yeah, same. And you do get that question a lot working here in the store. And I always tell them the most important thing is, let's get you on the Atrex machine. Let's look at your stride, look at your foot pad, look at your arches, all that sort of, get you the best shoe for your feet. And then when you start out, just like Janie said, if you have to walk, but stick with a schedule. And she's in the back of her mind, I'm sure she's going, yeah, this is a guy to be saying it. But it really is, if you can get down a schedule and just start slow, and understand as well. One of the things that's the hardest thing I come across is understanding I am my competition. I don't need to worry about what somebody else is doing or what this other runner or is. I need to go out and make sure that I'm progressing at my pace. And that way you get the sense of fulfillment. Set yourself goals. If you're just starting out, maybe it's, I want to run 10 miles this week. And then the next week, I'm going to do 12 miles. Doesn't matter whether you walk, run, but just complete it. And then treat yourself. You know?
Don't increase over 10% a week. So if you've done 1 mile, make it 1.1.
Yeah. But just take it easy. Don't compare yourself with other people and listen to your body. One of the other reasons, other than not having the right equipment, the right shoes, is I would just train. I tried to go out every training run and run as hard as I could, as fast as I could. And that was actually worse than just going out and listening to my body and saying, hey, today you need a rest day. This needs to be a walk jog day, not a run as hard as you can day and push your body. So that would be what I would say to someone new starting out. Don't make the same mistakes I made and get yourself injured. Yeah.
Those are good. Really good. When you've had tough runs, is there something that you tell yourself? Do you have a favorite mantra or favorite saying to get you through?
What's a little song? Just keep running. Just keep moving. One foot in front of the other. And my thing is keep me from stumbling, keep me from falling. Keep me from stumbling, keep me from falling.
That's good.
Because when you're really tired, and I have fallen a few times, don't want to get injured. So just keep on going.
Yeah. Yeah. It sounds, just do it. Just do it. I know that's a Nike slogan, but it really is just do it. Just keep going. Don't stop. If you have to walk, but just don't stop. Whatever that goal is, if your goal today is to do 2 miles, do the 2 miles and just complete it. And then reward yourself. That's one of the biggest things I learned from Janie
Not
is
with a pizza.
Well, it could be whatever your reward system is. If you hit your training schedule for a month in a row,
Go get a massage.
go get a massage.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, just treat yourself a little bit and get your body and get your mind into that thought process of, if I pay and if it hurts, then there's a reward at the end that's going to feel good. And you'll get the positive thoughts going, and that will keep you going, and that will fuel you when you get to those hard times. And it's all going to be, we've already talked about the Looney's Midnight Marathon, and we talked about those times when you just want to quit, you want to give up. They'll come to everybody.
No. But just keep going.
Just keep going.
Wow. Good. So 51 marathons, 18 marathons. What other goals do you guys have with running?
Right now, it's half marathons.
Okay.
And we've done some, he says he doesn't do trails, but we started doing some vacation races, which are great. They're in national parks. So we've done several of those, and they're wonderful. I always want to be able to be active. I see so many people my age that I've been running 38 years. My knees are great. Never had any kind of surgery. It's wonderful. And I want to be able to just maintain. If it's walking or running or still weights, just always be able to be mobile and be going.
Yeah, same here. Just keep moving. Just keep doing it. It's so inspirational when you do go out to some of these marathons or half marathons and you see the 70 to 80, 90-year-olds that are still, I don't care if they're walking the whole way. Good for you. Keep moving. So that's the thing. Awards are great and winning races are great, but it's the accomplishment of, I set out to do it, I set a goal, and I completed it. That's what's most important. Don't worry about the times or anything else.
Oh, so good. So good. Yeah. Oh, man. What's your favorite length to run, whether it's a training run or race day? Since we know you don't like training runs.
Yeah.
What's your favorite distance?
My favorite distance is the marathon.
Really?
Love
Okay.
it.
Oh, yeah.
And I did
Wow.
I did 150K, and it was fun, 31 point whatever miles that was. But I love a marathon. I love to be able to push to that point of can I? And then to lay in the bed afterwards and go, oh, this feels so good I did it. That's my favorite. That and 8 miles. I like it.
Okay. You'll love Battleship 12K then.
Yeah,
Well, we talked about earlier. You will love that.
Yeah. I love the 100-miler. Yeah. Now,
Back the street.
complete truth, I haven't ran one yet. I'm sure I would love doing 100 miles at some point. And No. My favorite distance would be 10K.
Okay.
Because you're not just sprinting the entire time like a 5K, but you do have to have a sense of urgency more so than a half marathon. And I would guess second to that would be the half marathon.
Okay.
They're fun.
Half because you don't have to put in the training mileage as much as you do for a full
Sure.
to complete the 13.1 miles, but still you get that exhilaration of going that extra distance.
When you guys aren't running, what fuels you? What are you passionate about?
Our dogs, being in the country. We have a full-blooded blue heeler, and then we have a rescue. She's part collie and part blue heeler. So cattle dogs, they need to be outside a lot of times. They need a lot of activity. And
So fun.
yeah, they love chasing squirrels, and they love going on and getting in the creek and just splashing around and stuff. It's just, that's really, spending time with them is really, it's
We
really cool.
probably do 4 to 5 miles a day with them.
Wow. Yeah.
And they're so fun.
Just being in the country with them, just letting them go.
Yeah, let them run. When we lived in the city a year ago, we used to live in Tuscaloosa right in town, and it was really tough because you had to keep them on a leash all the time. But now living in the country, we got enough property out there that we can let them run and roam and just sniff and chase squirrels and deer and rabbits and
Living their best life.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's really fun. Yeah.
Really.
Yep.
Any final words of wisdom?
No matter where you are, start. And then no matter where you are, finish. Tip. If you're, no matter what's going on in your life, there's always an excuse not to get out and run or exercise. So just overcome that and make sure that you get out and do the activity.
Yeah. The only thing that's standing between you and what you want is fear. Just conquer it and go. And the only way to fail is to not try. Everybody can do it at some level.
Yep.
Guys, this has been so fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to see you at more races.
Absolutely. We'll be at Battleship
That's
and we'll do it.
right. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thanks.
Aren't Janie and Gerald just absolutely adorable? Oh my goodness, they are so funny. And my favorite part was when his pre-race routine sounded so good and so healthy, and Janie's like, it's a honey bun, babe. You like honey buns. So that was great. And the advice that they give and just community, that's what they're all about. And I'm so grateful for them. And again, for taking time to sit down with us. They had just both ran a 5K. I had two, and they lived an hour away from Tuscaloosa. So the fact that they took time to share their stories was beautiful. And I really, really appreciate that. And again, so grateful for them and for Tammy at Wagner's Run Walk, who is always so willing to find me somebody to share their stories. There's so many stories that need to be shared. And we also love the community of Tuscaloosa and just what they mean to us. And so thank you to Wagner's Run Walk. Thank you to Janie and Gerald Ross for sharing your run stories. Absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to see you at more. And they're going to come to Battleship 12K, guys. I'm so excited. We're going to have a huge group from Tuscaloosa come. So I'm pumped. I'm so pumped. And thank you again to Eastern Shore Chiropractic and Sports Clinic, serving the Fairhope area, and Cairo South Spine and Sport, serving the Mobile area. Really appreciate you guys believing in Run Your Story. There's a little something coming out in a couple of weeks with Dr. Justin. So just a little teaser there, guys. It's going to be really, really fun, really informative. And I really appreciate his support and all the staff support that they have for Run Your Story. It's absolutely incredible. So make sure to give them a shout out. If you're a current patient or if you want to become a new one, you can reach out to them as well. To learn more information, you can go to runyourstory.com. As always, thank you to Gilliard Tech Services. We appreciate Greg Gilliard so much. We were actually in the back of the running store at Wagner's Run Walk where all the shoes are, which was super fun. But there was a lot of hustle and bustle, and he was able to take out all that noise, and so we really appreciate him. He does such a great job for him to hear their story, and it was great. Absolutely loved it. So thank you to Gilliard Tech Services so much for all that you do. Guys, he updates our website. He can update yours. He can make it look fresh, make it look new, make it your dream website. So definitely check him out for all of your website needs. That is Gilliard Tech Services. You can find him as well on our website at runyourstory.com or at Gilliard Tech Services as well. And to our Patreon supporters, love you guys so much. And You guys are just the dream team, and I just thank you so much for believing in Run Your Story. If you want to become a Patreon supporter, there is a link on the Run Your Story website that you can do that. Join the fun. We really, really appreciate our Patreon family members. They are extraordinary individuals who are making the running community better, and they keep us encouraged by funding this podcast. It costs money to put on a podcast, and so I'm truly grateful for the opportunity that they have given us to be able to continue with this podcast. So thank you so much. And if you want to join us, we'd love to have you. Again, you can find out more information on runyourstory.com. And guys, if you have not listened to Ride the Rebellion, you should. They have become our brother podcast. We think the world of Dale and Drew. They're hilarious. What they're doing for community as a whole is so inspirational. And I got to be on there, and I'm so grateful for that. And they're just top-notch individuals. So definitely check them out. It's called Ride the Rebellion. I know sometimes we have crossover with cyclists and with runners, triathletes, so definitely check them out. Follow them on social media. They're absolutely incredible. And tell them that Allison said hi. They're great. We absolutely love those guys. And to our listeners, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. We think the world of you. We love reading the comments that you guys are leaving for reviews. We really hope that this helps our running community. And for those that are maybe hesitant about joining the running community, there is a place for you. And we hope this podcast helps you find that place and find that community. So make sure that you like, share, comment. We want to make sure that every story gets out there, that every story gets shared, and we appreciate you guys so much for doing that. All right, guys, until next time, go run your story, because every story needs to be heard.